Liverpool versus everybody. How's everybody doing? Just having a second look here. There's a bit to to say as you look in the game. As you look at the game again, I'm not going to be as rude and as harsh as people have been about Jordan Pickford. I don't know this guy's physical situation. He might have some kind of issue. I'm not going to tease him about his alleged short arms. What I am going to say is, I think Pickford, with all the hype in the World Cup, um, and being England's number one, um, he's obviously a decent keeper. And I think when you think of the best keepers in the Premier League, um, I think even before this incredible mistake he made, you've got to consider him as top five, top six in the Premier League. Um, and I think in that game he had some decent moments. I also think in that game he had some moments where if you're channeled in and you're tuned into what's going on in a football match, you can tell he didn't do the best under pressure. Um, there were times when we were pressing and he would try to slice the ball as he does. He's you're led to believe that he's some new aged English, you know, ball playing keeper who wants to, be slightly different than your average just basic keeper that stops saves. Like he wants to be on the front foot. You can tell that's the way he plays, and I think he plays with a bunch of confidence, maybe a bit too much. But again, you could tell he had some moments where he shanked the ball out, and the pressure really got to him. What's up, my man? So what's funny to me is a couple things, and again, this is gonna be a lot here, guys. So you know, find some time, and we're gonna be here for a minute. But no matter who's in here to join, I'm glad Mommy is here though. Thank you, welcome. Um, what's interesting to me is that so many fans, sadly, but not surprising, Liverpool fans are talking about how, specifically Everton fans, talking about how they deserve more. They were the better team. We're lucky again. Um, listen, I think the third part of that equation being lucky, sure, and I think at the same token, we should have had a penalty late in that game. Sigurdsson has his back turned. His elbow is making a movement like this. He's basically saved an attempt from Sturridge. Now, do we know if that goal goes in or not? No, we don't know. But still, the rules of the game, that should have been a handball. And I don't really talk too much about refs. If you guys watch this channel enough, um, and especially when you win a game, for me it's a talking point, but it's more or less to make other points. Um, and so to me, they were quite lucky. Here's the thing: Everton did play well, and probably arguably the best performance I've seen of Everton side in a long time, and that's down to the manager and them being very. They've been very, very good, I think, in the last couple of transfer windows, especially this last one. They've had a lot of players. I don't know how they were able to manage getting all those players and then finding ways to use them or loan them out or sell them again or whatever the case may be. Um, but it's that manager for the most part. Mommy says Everton was lucky we had an intense game 3 days before. They had the whole week. Yeah, that's actually another good point that I hadn't even thought of. You're right on cue with that. But we had the same amount of shots on target. Liverpool had way more shots, and that's the thing when you talk about chances. To me, we had lots of chances and more than Everton had. What I mean by chances is there's a ball in the box and nobody comes in and connects with it. Obviously the chance Mane had, two of them over the bar or whatever the case may be. So those are all chances. Now, if you're taking your chances, then that's different. And yet again, it's another week where yes, we won. Yes, I'm over the moon. I'm happy, or I'm buzzing, as they say in the UK. But at the same time, it's another week where we're thinking, damn, we didn't take our chances. And how long can we really ride that luck? Which I don't really know how lucky that is. I think that's a keeper making probably. Listen, I think when Kerry's made the mistakes, I think we probably all said we'll never see anything as bad as what he's done in the final. And I think the stage of that was different. But equally, this is a huge stage as well. And the other thing is Pickford ran his mouth. when he didn't have to. Pickford was very, very clear, very, very forthcoming with this whole thing of I'll never make the blunder that Alisson made against Leicester. Again, we won, by the way, in light of the blunder. Won comfortably, also, in my opinion, from what I can remember. So, again, I think Lucas Digne had some things to say about never walk alone when he came to Everton or whatever. Yeah, it's karma, my man. Like you again, I think Begovic, who plays with Bournemouth now, some time ago, I don't know if he was still, I think he was still with Bournemouth, and he said something about their forward line is better than Liverpool's or something like that, and we ended up smashing them. So, again, in a long season like this, one of the best managers, if not the best manager in the world, people say, Sir Alex Ferguson. Go ask him how many games he had to win like that. But no one said anything. They just said, "Oh, it's Fergie time. United are amazing at getting the." When Liverpool do it, it's luck. And I mean, and to be quite honest, yes, I do wonder how long we can go. And my thing is, my immediate answer to that for myself is, as long as it goes. What I mean? As long as we can ride our luck, we'll hopefully continue to ride it. And I think again, when you're playing so well, which I thought we did, and again, I don't get this whole idea of Everton got the better chances, they were the better team, they were unlucky. Maybe you can say they're unlucky with the decision that their keeper made, but that's something that their player did. It wasn't like, to me, luck would have been the ball just hit off the post and somehow found its way in the goal. This keeper, who everyone keeps telling me is amazing and all this, that, and the third, has made a gross error there. I mean, that is just unbelievable. The game is over. The game's over. And then there's a bunch of things that led up to that. And again, I got to give Klopp the ultimate credit. I get on him when he doesn't make good subs. But yet again in the game, he made a sub that came on to change the game. And it wasn't just the goal. I'm all over the place here, but I'm going to tell you why it's so amazing that Divock Origi got that goal. But first of all, Klopp. And let's go back to Gana Gay, who I thought had a great game, but Gomez for them was even incredible. There's so many different layers and variables and comparisons here. Gomez misses his goal. Our Gomez clears it off. There's a lot to talk about, but Idrissa Gana Gay, he's on the ground, and obviously him and Mane are really close. Mane pushes his head a couple times, like, come on, man, why are you really wasting time? Like, why are you doing this? He finally gets up, he pushes Mane away. It's all love, they're brothers, it's cool. But that was that's what ultimately gave us the time we had to get the goal. His time of whether he was hurt or not, he took a great deal of time on that pitch, sitting down, laying down, whatever he was doing, and that is what gave us the time to get that goal. Origi comes in for 2 to 3 minutes, if that. I think he comes on the 94th minute, which the game should have been over around that time, if at the most 95. But again, the dark arts sometimes they go against you. They go against you, and I think what you learn from this game, and hopefully what Liverpool learned from this game, is that and I think they've obviously known this because we've shown that in games. PSG, Firmino, Sturridge against Chelsea. So we know it's there, but again, it's another way of, I guess, reassuring or the whole squad of never give up. The game is never over. The game is never over. And you can see, Van Dijk takes that slice at the shot, and he's already run up the field, which I get it. I think collectively we all were like, damn, we're going to draw this game. And of course, City comes in the mind, like, oh, they won their game. Wow. It's 4 points, almost 5 point now difference to City. Oh, 5 points, I think, to City at this point. If we draw this game, losing it would have been worse. And the determination, the right place at the right time, the wherewithal. How many times do you see a situation like that? Well, not like that, because I can't imagine a goalkeeper doing something like that, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point again. It may have happened sometime in history before. How many times do players just kind of say, oh, this is over, especially after that shot from Van Dijk? But Divock Origi, right place, right time, goes for the ball. Not looking around to see if he's offside, not hesitating, just reacting. The reason why it's so fitting for Divock, because we all know, and I think it's almost like that Funes Mori curse. We know what Funes Mori did to Divock in that derby a season or two ago. And we all remember the scene of Funes Mori kissing the badge, patting the badge, and wearing it like it was, that was what his job was to do. And so Divock Origi has played well against Everton before, and it's just on and saves the day. I mean, you can't get any better than that. And again, with Divock, it wasn't just that goal. As soon as he can, again, this is only 2 to 3 minutes, guys. This is not like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. This is a handful of minutes, not even, to make a difference. Mommy says I had the remote in my hand, about to change the channel when VVD took that shot. Yeah, I mean, I think collectively again, but again, I'm still stay with me, guys. It's gonna be long, but stay with me. The build up to that. So first of all, Divock Origi comes on, and of course, look, Divock Origi can do nothing ever again for Liverpool in his career, ever. He could be sold in January, but he'll always go down as a hero, and kind of like this folk hero of Liverpool lore, because you beat Everton in a derby pretty much single-handedly. I say pretty much because I got to talk about Alisson and Gomez as well. The reasons why we won this game, and you can see where Klopp ran to the pitch. He ran right to Ramses, right to our goalkeeper, our Brazilian, incredible, world-class goalkeeper. He ran right to him. That's not just coincidence. But you can see when Origi came on, right away he was good. That run down the white ring, the right wing, where he kind of pushes it past the defender and just gets past him and goes up and he loops a ball into Mane. We all know that we didn't get a goal from that, but it's still, again, the chances that those are chances. We might not we might not capitalize on all of them, but that's still chances, and that's what you want to see. It'd be different if Liverpool just weren't creating. Like, it'd be different if we saw what we saw against PSG in Paris the other day, often in the Premier League. We're not. That's a one-off. We're not going to see a lot of that. So, and then the shot he had on the bar, and of course he's probably thinking, damn. And there's probably some of us followers thinking, or supporters thinking, this is why Divock Origi doesn't play. Why is he in there? Klopp is just desperate. No, and maybe Klopp was desperate, but I don't care. Sometimes you got to be desperate. Sometimes you got to take chances. Firmino wasn't really doing much, and I'll get into him as far as him starting for the next couple of games. Shaqiri wasn't amazing. He had some moments there, but again, this is one we had to grind out, and I think championship sides do that. If we win the league this season, these are the type of games. This might be the game where we look back and say, "Wow." I don't know how we did it, but we pulled it out. Back to winning the game single-handedly for Divock. I say sort of because we got to talk about Alisson Becker. I mean, with the slick back hair, and I swear he's got some, and down in his history, his people, he must have some serious Brazilian dons. I mean, this guy, this guy is so assured of himself, so confident. But anyway, I think Klopp running to Becker, I think it's such a great moment. And I'll get into Klopp in a minute on what he did and him being charged by the FA for gross misconduct or whatever the case it was. But that wasn't a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. He ran to Becker because in his mind he's thinking, number one, the save on their Gomez. And honestly, to me, our Gomez, Joe Gomez, is really the star of that situation. I get it. Becker's there. It's a save. You might say he should score there, but that's the other side of the argument is when people say, "Oh, a guy should score there." Why should he? If there's a presence in a keeper like him, how long have we wanted to sit back like a Man United fan would for so many years with De Gea being their keeper, knowing that every season he's going to win you single-handedly at least 15 points? When's the last time we've had a goalkeeper who you can think? I mean, Reina was good. But this dude Becker, man, what's up, Thompson? This dude Becker is on a different level, and we know Brazil can breed all types of football players, but that's mainly outfield football players. Right now, they have two world-class keepers coming out of Brazil: the guy over at City and Becker. I mean, the presence of mind that say, but to me again, Gomez is a star of that because clearing off the line like that again. Not gonna throw any other Liverpool players under the bus, but is Lovren making that? Is Mignolet making that save? Is Karius making those saves? Gomez has done that at least 2 or 3 other times this season. Not necessarily in that situation, but if the ball gets past Van Dijk, he's had to dive in, make tackles, dive in, make blocks. I'm just so proud of this team, and I think also, which has gone a bit under the radar, is the save on Theo Walcott, or was it? I don't know if it was Theo Walcott or was it Richarlison. But one of those guys will clear in, and it looks like Alisson purposely has knocked the ball against his foot, knowing it would go out of bounds for a goal kick. How many times is that a penalty? How many times does that player go down whether he's touched or not? I mean, we saw Kane pretty much do the same thing in that game last season that we drew, and didn't get the 3 points that we wanted. But so many times guys go down with a little bit of contact. I mean, this guy Ramses is just such a intelligent football player. Notice I said football player, not even keeper, just intelligent football player. And to have the frame of mind, I mean, the game is going by fast. You know what I mean? And that's a chance for them. That because of our keeper, it came to nothing. There was no shot on target there. That was him trying to get through, and our keeper having the presence of mind to step up, ricochet off his foot, goal kick. Those are game-changing moments in the game that we needed. And I said it before, Everton were good. But all of this, I've gone to Toffee TV, other Everton, just to see what they have to say about it. Of course, they're miserable. I don't feel sorry for them. It's a derby. They wouldn't feel sorry for us if it happened. So I don't get all this. It's a rivalry. I don't get Liverpool fans running over there saying, oh, you guys were unlucky. You played well. You deserved the point. No, they didn't. They didn't. They really didn't, in my opinion. If anything, we should have been up 3-0 at halftime. That's just the fact of the matter. We weren't. Okay, fine. And I don't want to deal with the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but that's something that probably should have happened. But it didn't. So again, battle tested. And these type of results in games really, they do nothing but help the morale, help the continuity. I mean, a goal like that from Divock Origi, who knows? He could start next game. And clearly Klopp rates him because Solanke was supposed to be our new Origi, but Origi's on the bench. He came in at Red Star. So clearly he's seeing something in training to say, you know what? 6 goals at Wolfsburg, not great. But you got to remember at Liverpool, he had one of the best stretches of his career, or probably ever. The best stretch ever of his career playing football until that injury. He was doing really well for us. Mane was out for a while. He came in and played. So, listen, I mean, again, I was happy with the 4-2-3-1. There's so many players on that pitch that I can really, really talk about. Back to Gomez, though. I mean, this guy is just growing before our eyes every single game. Of course, his defensive play, his saving the ball off the line, but also his physicality. He's never hiding, never scared of a challenge. He almost plays like he's a Scouser, like he's a natural-born Scouser, and playing for Liverpool means the world to him. Obviously, Trent has that. Robertson has that about him. But Gomez is another guy where, and again, it's a great combo with him and Van Dijk because Van Dijk's that kind of calm, very relaxed, moves around the pitch, like people say, a Rolls Royce. And I think Gomez is a better version of Lovren. Lovren's a very physical, hot-headed, tussling kind of center back, but it's not as smart and doesn't keep his cool enough to the level of Gomez, which is crazy because Gomez is significantly younger and has probably had very little in comparison as far as experience. So it's just good to see Gomez not backing down, being physical. He was knocking players all over the pitch. Finally got a yellow card for it, but it's so important to continue to see that duo. I get moments where we put Gomez on the right and have Lovren in there, or Matip for that matter, but I think it's so essential to keep that unit like it is, that back four in general. You know what I mean? What's Mame saying? Oh, I'm sorry. Thompson said, I hope our players don't have Kareem Hunt situation. I'm not sure what that means. Gomez is probably our most improved player. Yeah, and that's probably an easy choice, Mame. I mean, that's an easy choice, seriously. I mean, and coming back from the injury, sitting out, I mean, that could really take a toll on a young player. Am I good enough? Will I be able to go long enough without injury? We've had enough examples in our team of players that injuries have totally taken them away. Sturridge's not the same player he is. Henderson is not the same player he was. Lallana, we've had guys and examples of guys where Gomez could look back and say, I mean, obviously he's not those people, but it's easy for a young guy to get discouraged and be like, damn, maybe this is not going to come off for me. Barca, Modric won the Ballon d'Or. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'm not really interested in those accolades, but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Anyway, on to Klopp. As you all probably know now, he did get the FA did come down hard on him. I don't know what the discipline is going to be. It could be a lot of things. And I think on that topic, look, we know what Klopp is. It's a bit cringy to see that. It is. I think most fans, as much as we pump our chest and say, oh, no, it's not that big a deal, if it was another manager, if Silva did that or any other manager, most of us probably would. I don't think he mean anything by it. He knows better. He knows what was wrong, which is why he said he apologized. Marco Silva seemed to be fine with it and admitted that he might have done the same thing in that case. It's a big game. And I think that's more of a celebration of we're still on City's coattails. I think that's what Klopp is thinking in that moment. We live for another day. And also, City's looking at that game thinking, yes, thank you, Everton. You did us a favor. And then the ball bounces off the top of the goalpost as if it's NBA basketball, and there's a last second shot, and it's bouncing and it's bouncing and it's bouncing and it's going around and it's bouncing, and you're wondering is it going to bounce off? It bounced off, and we had a guy right there to dunk it in Divock Origi. I mean, he literally scored the goal with like his collarbone shoulder. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's the way you. I mean, if someone told me would you rather smash Everton 5, 6, 7, 8-0, or would you rather beat them like that where it hurts, especially just after like seconds. It was like almost it was almost in sync. Like when they threw off those blue purple flares or whatever, we were putting the ball in the back of the net pretty much at the same time, which is equally embarrassing, I think. So yeah, Origi used power, bone, shoulder. Yeah, it looked like it. Mame, people say the pressure is on us, but I think it's on City too. Maybe more on them. Yeah. Are you down with hang out tonight? Yeah, yeah, I'm down for that, man. Just as soon as I get off here, we can figure something out. And I eat and I spend some time with family, but I'll try to get on. Yeah, thank you for asking. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's going to serve something. I don't know if it's a match band or fine. I don't know how they're treating that. And I'm not going to go into all the examples of coaches doing that, but nothing happening to them. But I'll leave that alone. But yeah, listen, I mean, another win, another really important win. Um, my favorite rapper right now, it is probably a guy named Rock Marciano, who is from um, Hempstead, New York. Interesting question. I heard Mane and Robbo are doubtful for the Burnley game. I did as well, and honestly, I don't know if that's such a. Obviously, look, it's not a great thing if our players get injured, but and no one wants to see Alberto Moreno. But these next couple of games, maybe you can see Klopp start his rotation. It's a long season. We don't know what the Champions League holds. We got our information on who we play in the FA Cup third round. It's going to be Wolves. Um, but I was already going to, and I'll get into that in a minute about who I think should start in the game. But just finishing up on this Everton, um, yeah, I'm really need to stay off some of these comment sections, and because it's disgusting to see Liverpool fans, some of them, and I get it. They want to be nice, I guess, but for what? It's a derby game. Um, it doesn't make you a better person that you went to their channel and said, "Hey man, you guys are really good today." And I mean, any Everton fan, if I'm an Everton fan, I want to hear how good we were, because yet again we can't beat y'all. And how many years has it been? I mean, it's been a long time, man. Since I don't even know the last time they beat us. I really don't. And again, just that's a lot of games unbeaten against them. A lot of games unbeaten. Um, Yet again, we still can't get a penalty at home. I don't really understand that, but that's just what it is, which makes it that much more sweeter for us to get lucky and get that goal. You know what I mean? Because by and large, I think for the most part, it was a pretty even game. And I also understand how people think that the North London derby was anywhere near as good as the Merseyside derby. And I'm not saying that from being a Liverpool fan. I'm saying that because in a game where Arsenal dominated that game, there was a 10, maybe 15 minute, if that spell that Spurs had, and obviously the iconic now moment of Eric Dyer, who's one of the most overrated, I mean, bums in existence, doing this that early in the game. Oh my God! I mean, that, again, these guys need to see things through. They should learn their lesson with Harry Claim and all that stuff he was doing on social media when they were fighting against Leicester. But that was a dominant game from Arsenal. To me, that's not a good game. Now, it depends on what kind of football you like. If you like a game with a bunch of scoring and no defense, great. But to me, the Merseyside derby was a better game. It was closer, bunch of chances. There wasn't that much of the tussling and fighting or whatever shoving that there was in the Arsenal Tottenham game. Look, you could say it's a great advert for the Premier League, but I don't think it was a better game than the Merseyside derby, and that really pleased me because, with a manager like the one they had, the gravy drinking fella who was managing them last, you knew what kind of game he was going to play, and so it made it kind of a grimy kind of game. But with Marco Silva, I for one always knew this was going to be a good game, and yes, they've been in great form. They've got a lot of good players, but to say that they had the better chances or they deserve more or they were unlucky to me is a disgraceful thing to say for them and especially Liverpool fans. So moving on, again, just to shut the book on that is just really, really proud of the team. Really, really proud of Origi. So fitting that he would get that goal. He so deserved that. Um, and one Jordan out, as in Jordan Henderson, one Jordan in, as in Pickford. So thank you very much for that. Moving on, Burnley's tomorrow, Wednesday. Sorry, I'll probably get into more of a video on preview on that. Um, but my lineup would be Becker and goal. I just don't ever want to see him go. I don't care what the competition is. I actually look. He's one of the guys I actually look forward to watching every single game, and he's a goalkeeper. That should tell you a lot. I think on the right, um, I I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on this one. I just finished saying I want to see the defense play a little bit more games together, but I also think we can stand to see a guy or two. I think we can stand to see a few changes. And like you said earlier, Robertson and Mane allegedly have gotten knocks, which could leave them out of the game anyway. But we're talking about the defense, and I'm gonna just go what I want, not what Klopp would do. And what I would want is, um, I want Trent again at the fullback spot. I think a team like Burnley, who are leaps and bounds away from what they were last season. That team that was really, really grinding games out and doing really good defensively from set pieces as well. Decline die? Yeah, it's a great question, man. It's a mystery why he hasn't been on team sheets or played for that matter. I think he played in the whatever chocolate chip cup or whatever it was. Um, but I don't know. It's a good question. But assuming that he's not in the plans, I'm gonna say Trent again, and only because I feel like I rate Gomez at right back. I don't think we're going to put Fabinho there at this point. So it would either be Gomez or Trent. Mommy says, was about to ask if he was alive. Yeah. I think with that low block that Burnley are going to play, it's going to help to have as many outlets as we can to break it down and just being patient, which I don't mind. Um, Barca says Wilson from Derby should come back for depth. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I don't know how I feel about him. I think it's all well and good to be doing well at Derby. That's cool. I obviously he wasn't doing enough to be in the team now. So Woodburn as well. I mean, these guys can do things where they are at lower competition. Let's be honest, and that's all good. Um, but we all know that's potential is only just potential. And so yeah, sure. I mean, we could give him a try out and see if like him playing at Derby is really going to do anything for his Liverpool career. But I don't really feed into that. I mean, it's good that he's doing well, and the fact that he's still a Liverpool player is nice. But I never really rated Wilson that well, and I just don't know if doing that at Derby is a big thing to hang your hat on. Like if he was doing it, different country, um, top level squad, maybe in Germany, for example, then okay. But yeah, sure. I mean, well, we got guys that Klopp believes in that are young, but yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? If that's an option and Klopp sees it, then I'm totally for it. But just on the surface of things, I'm not sure if he warrants all of this kind of excitement because he's doing things at Derby. If that's just me, and I know he scored against United allegedly, I guess, but that doesn't really do much for me. Um, but yeah, Trent again, or Gomez, but I think I go with Trent. Great result. That yeah, no question, Lark man. Good to see you. Welcome. I would go with. I probably go Lovren Van Dyke. If Robertson is hurt, obviously Alberto Moreno. If he's not, I think Robertson again. I think he's one of the guys that seriously, unless he has any serious injury, he's got to keep playing. Um, I think they will. I think we definitely should. You just never know, man. You never know. It's the Premier League, and yeah, you never know. I mean, we should be able to beat them though. Burnley have been terrible, but everyone seems to play the game of their lives against us. Exactly. I think Klopp will play Matip. Yeah, I would. I was thinking Matip as well. He hasn't played in a while, but I do think the back four will be shuffled. Maybe more than we think. And I don't think it's anything disrespectful to Burnley really, but what I do think is that Klopp feels like he's got a squad now, whether we see it or not, that he can afford to do these, um, give the guys rest or what's the word, rotate. You know what I mean? So And the midfield is where again that's always going to be the one that the area in the pitch that we're all looking at for these confirmed 11s before every game, an hour before. And for me, again, I love the 4-2-3-1. I think that's the best lineup to have against these teams that park the bus. Barca says, "What do you think? Who do you think wins Arsenal versus Man United?" Oh, Arsenal. Arsenal are really proven that they're a good team, and they're a team that I think people shouldn't be sleeping on. I think they played really well against us, fought back to get that draw, which kept their win streak or unbeaten streak at that time maybe to 12, 14, something like that. I don't know. I think it's at 18, 19 now. All competitions, of course. Torreira, as HA says, probably signing of the season. I think you can put Allison in there as well. We've kept the most clean sheets. So you can't poo poo that. But I think Torreira's been really good, and they got a good team. They got a good team. I think Unai Emery has come in right away and instilled something in that team. So yeah, United. As much as I love Mourinho, the United. I mean, come on, they're clearly hanging on by a thread, getting results against teams that they shouldn't be getting, in my opinion. And hats off to the guys. Hats off to the teams that are giving them trouble. But you should be swatting teams like Southampton to the side. That's just believe. That's just incredible to me. Barca, bro, I believe Arsenal can win the league this season if they fix center backs. Yeah, I've seen you say that before. I'm not gonna go that far. I think they'll be right up there. I think they should be hitting top four. That shouldn't be a problem. But again, I mean, much respect to Arsenal and their team and their fan base. I mean, Arsenal fan TV or AFTV now was the place that everyone went after games on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, just to laugh at their interviews. DT, Troops, all of those guys. But now, no one's laughing at Arsenal right now. I don't think. I mean, United still capable of shock wins. Of course they are. I think any team is. They will be top four, but win the league. Yeah, win the league is a bit of a stretch. But Barca is a special character, so the more he comes on here, the more you guys will see. But that's my man. I love him. So thanks for being here, Barca. But yeah, I don't see that Arsenal thing. But again, I think this time it seems like they were happy with that anyway, just being top four. I think if you really speak to the supporters, of course they want to win the league every season like any other top team in the Premier League. But I think top four was like that's kind of what kept Arsenal in there so long. He was guaranteed to get that, which is going to bring money in. If they got a trophy from the FA Cup or whatever, great. But so yeah, I think they definitely get top four. I think you've seen over the past couple of weeks what some of these teams are made of, including Liverpool. And though we've been getting lucky and getting smash and grabs or whatever, we're still winning, as Van Dyke so eloquently put in the post match. And I loved his interview, man. I just love his demeanor, his positiveness, his lack of wanting to entertain this whole idea of the big bad city. And I love what he said. He almost kind of he kind of laughed off a question about the form of Liverpool right now and how we're not as good as we were last season. And he kind of scoffed at the guy and said, "Look, we need to be happy. We're still winning games. As good as City is, we're good as well. And we're still unbeaten. I think people tend to forget that based on whatever it's based on for them. So anyway, back to the team. I think 4-2-3-1 is our best situation against these low block teams, and I think in the two, you gotta believe Henderson is going to play. Um, so I don't know if he'll do Henderson and Fab, and then maybe have Shaqiri in instead of Salah. Maybe you put Divock Origi in, Sturridge in, Mane. For me, again, I don't know how serious Mane's injury is, but for me, I think you give Genie one more run out before you rest him, maybe at Bournemouth. But I think you give Genie one more run out. I want to continue to see Genie and Fab in that holding. I love them two together, and I think Genie improved much more in the second half. He wasn't great in the first half, but again, I said it about Fab before. I think he's amazing at. I think we all had this idea that he was kind of this midfield breaker. What I mean? I think he still has that in him. Um, Liverpool should buy Cavani. Okay, but I think he's he's much better on the ball than I think a lot of us thought than he is off the ball. And again, playing as a fullback for most of his time until I guess the manager got a hold of him at Monaco and said, "Look, let's try you at this." His height, things of that nature. Clearly, he's had experience with being on the ball, And he's better at that than I thought. And he's better at just being progressive, just going forward with the ball. A lot of times we see Genie, Milner, Henderson um, doing a lot of recycle play, which again that works in situations. But with Fab, and he does that as well, and probably could do it as much as those guys I mentioned. But with Fab, you notice he goes forward, and that's usually his first idea, and can do it really good. Can hit a pass 30, 40 yards. Can do a through ball. Can do good with 1-2. Can beat a man with dribble. He can. Believe me, he can do it. So I want to see that again. Liverpool, Genie started all the games. He has, and you could say he's due a rest, and I wouldn't mind it. I don't know how I feel about anybody else next to Fab. Do you throw Naby in now? I think that's probably the future, kind of. Maybe not the future so much because Genie's doing so well, and it feels maybe unfair not to put him in more games, but or continue to see him play almost every damn game. But I don't know. I kind of want to see Genie and Fab. I'd be happy to see Fab and Naby. I don't think it'll be. I don't want to see Fab and Milner. Fab and Henderson is an option. Henderson missing out on the derby. You got to believe he'll play. He'll probably find a place for Milner. But for me, I think it's Genie and Fab there. And then I think Firmino probably is another guy who needs to sit. He's playing a lot of football. A lot of football for Liverpool, Brazil. He's been playing a lot of football in general. And he hasn't been at his best. But he's been doing well. We know what happened in the Watford game. He was in the center of everything that happened in that game, every goal we scored. But I wouldn't be against maybe giving Divock Origi a run out, maybe giving Sturridge a run out. So I'll go with I kind of want to see a 4-2-2-2 in a way. Kind of a variant of the 4-2-3-1. And in that 4-2-2-2, like I said, Fab and Genie. And then I think you could see obviously, if Mane is fit, I'd say Mane. I put Salah there, flexible, very flexible wide positions, and then maybe Divock Origi and Sturridge. You know what I mean? Or somehow put maybe Shaqiri in there. But yeah, I'll go Divock Origi and Sturridge up top. This probably won't happen. Just what I would like to see with a kind of a 4-4-2 or 4-2-2-2 formation with Salah and Mane if he's fit. If Mane isn't fit, you know, you're probably definitely going to see Sturridge and or Origi. But yeah, that's what I think the lineup should be for Burnley. But I'll get more into that as the hours go on and probably some point between now and tomorrow. But yeah, just a great early Christmas gift. Everton has awarded us, or that we took. Sometimes I don't know which one is the better way to put it. And another disappointment for Everton, another early Christmas disaster for Everton. So it's always great to be playing them in and around these holiday times. It's always a way to kind of kickstart the month of December off with a win in that fashion. It's always good. It's always good. Genie and Hendo are hard-working midfielders, but not magicians like David Silva. What's happened with Alana? Man, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Sturridge and Origi need to start. Yeah, we are not at the top of our game, but we keep on grinding out good results. This could be our time to finally win the Premiership. Yeah, it could be. And a lot of people keep saying we're not in that game and things haven't clicked. But the thing I don't get is, let's take the game yesterday for example. Again, we are creating chances. We're not finishing them all the time or as frequently as we should. So that's why, again, people keep talking about, I know you didn't say this, but it makes me think of this whole Coutinho replacement you need. Sure, it would be great to have a player like Ox that could drive through. And again, I think we've gotten better without Coutinho. That's my opinion. I never thought he was really a great player for how Liverpool wanted to play, how Klopp wanted to play. That's just my opinion. Loads of people will disagree with that. That's fine. There's a lot of Coutinho fanboys and people who just had this incredible amount of love and admiration for Coutinho for a reason that I've never been understand. But you know, I think we need to buy a top attacking midfielder and a top striker to complete the team. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. And for lots of times I was saying I don't really think we need to go in January, but if we did, yes, it would have to be an attacking player, maybe a Mane cover, I think, or just someone who can play across the front three somewhere, preferably on that left side though, because again, of the front three, Mane for me, call him patchy as far as goals scoring, but Mane to me has been the best guy in the front three. I'm sorry. Yes, he's missed his fair share of chances. Maybe not always made the right decisions, but You always know, even if he's quiet in the game, he can always pop up and make something happen. And Mane has been that dude this season for the front three. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that Salah is leading the team with goals. The best player of the front three has easily been Mane. It's not even close, in my opinion. It's not even close. I believe we will improve and get to our full potential in the second half of the season. It'll be scary. Yeah, again, I mean, as long as we keep getting results, I don't really care about this form thing or if Mane or Salah or I don't care who we're getting the goals from. I'm not that kind of supporter. I support the team, so I don't find any joy of seeing Salah, break another scoring record or whatever. He can score 8 goals all season for all I care, and we still win the league. And why would I care about that? So, where goals come from doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't. Would I like to see more of a midfield? Yeah, sure. And mainly because if our front guys aren't clicking, you can bank on someone else. So, again, like Virgil said, I mean, we need to be happy. We need to be happy, and I think the thing that really really impressed me and I was really brought me so much joy was to see the press back. And I was in the 4-2-3. Although again, it's so flexible that we probably played 4-3-3 at some point or 4-3-2-1 or whatever, 4-4-2 hell. But I think to see that press back and to see it really trouble the opponent, not just to see it for lack of seeing it and then really, it was effective. So to see that was really 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 just really really good to see finally again. I've got a vote running on your channel about if Origi should have a chance, and no one has really voted Mane out. Quite a few voting Bobby though. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that's very fitting because Mane's been that amazing. He's been that electric most of the season. I would say in every game he's always been a threat. And I think when you look at teams, you gotta love that as well because it gives teams that other like, oh damn, so we figured out how to stop Salah with his being physical. And every game you see these defenders draped all over him. Yerry Mina, who I thought was great for them yesterday, to be honest, for Everton, but there are times where this guy, I mean, when you see the replay, you see how big he is compared to Salah. I mean, he can easily be and Salah's very strong. Has a very very unassuming level of strength in my opinion. Mane's the same way. Shaqiri, a lot of our guys, Genie, they have this strength that you wouldn't really imagine that they have. So, with that being said, a lot of times Salah gets the ball, and it's almost like he's getting double teamed before he even receives the ball. So to have that guy on the other side, Mane, yeah, you don't really want to see him sit too much unless he's got a serious injury. Obviously, rotation probably would be good. But Origi, I think, again, he can do nothing else for Liverpool, and he'll go down as a hero. But I think the fact that Klopp clearly believes in him, Solanke hasn't seen the pitch. I don't know how long. He brings Origi in this game. The special situation it is from the Funes Mori injury to kind of feeling like all but ending his career at Liverpool, to throw him back in and to score like that, again, it's just poetry. It's poetry. Poetry in motion, as the song goes. So, we'll see. I think it'll be an interesting lineup, though. I don't think it'll be anything of what anybody is guessing, unless you had a good guess. But I think we can expect to see some changes in this game. But yeah, I'll get more into that. I really just wanted to come back with a second look on this Everton match because it's just such a big result, and to see people are still saying, "Oh, it's just a terrible game." That was an amazing game to me. That was one of the best games of football I've seen this season. I'm not gonna jump out there and say the best like some people, devil, but I think that was a really really good game, and just as much, in my opinion, of a what I said earlier about the Tottenham Arsenal game potentially being a good advert for the Premier League. I think this game was as well. So again, hats off to Everton for playing a decent brand of football. That's obvious. And for finally getting a team that they can legitimately improve upon and maybe start being up in that top 6, top 8 consistently every season. So Lincoln needs a loan or a chance elsewhere. I thought Origi looked to have more impetus than Salah or Bobby recently. Yeah. I mean, again, people just talk about the goal he scored. He was a part of 3 decent moments, chances there. Of course, the one he hits off the post, which he probably should have put away. And then that when he goes on the right and gets that ball into Mane. Origi came on for not even 5 minutes and changed the game. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Devil hates Liverpool. It's okay though. I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, I get why you would say that. I know a lot of people have said that. He hasn't necessarily said anything negative about Liverpool. I just find it amazing that people are saying the North London derby was way better than the Merseyside derby. I think that's a joke. Liverpool should buy Ruben Neves. Yeah, I've heard some talk about that. I don't think he had played this season. Who had played? Origi or Solanke? Solanke, I don't think so. Origi played at Red Star. He was on the bench sometime recently as well. You must be talking about Solanke. But we're on 45 minutes now. Thank you everybody who was in. I'm gonna wrap it up. Um, but yeah, just a great victory, and I'll just end it with um, I'll just end it with Origi scoring 96th minute. Blue flares, sadness. It's definitely the season of love and understanding. Merry Christmas, Neverton.